You're the fundraising coordinator, so let's talk about what you do at hospice.
Well, I came on board in 2008 prior to opening and got involved with the capital campaign and have been doing the annual fundraising ever since. So we have to fundraise in order to meet our operational goal. Our funding, we receive 60% of our funding from the provincial government, therefore we have to raise over $600,000 annually in order to make sure that we run efficiently.
Wow, so that's a really large number. So let's elaborate on that and why that is so important, that fundraising for hospice.
Well, why that number? The total budget is about $1.3 million, and like I said, we receive the funding from the Provincial Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care. So therefore, we depend heavily on our generous community to help us meet that 40% of the operational budget.
All right, and let's talk a little bit about some of the things that money does go into. It's not always obvious things. I know in past years, there's been things like new furniture as well as new investments. This year, it became very important to have more virtual and technology at hospice. So talk to us a little bit about some of the ways.
There's always a need. There's always a need. We've increased over the years. We've added different programming. So like right now, we have a bereavement program, but it's all done virtually. Patients only can have two people designated as their visitors. And so they have to communicate with other family members virtually. So that meant getting iPads and, so like there's always something more PPE this year. So the costs are gone up and the need is there.
And in terms of events, obviously this past year has been challenging for that, but hospice does have a variety of events throughout the year, including the telethon for hospice, which is done right in the studio we're sitting in.
Oh, precisely, and thank God we did have the telethon. We raised over $110,000, which is down from normal years, but still seeing that there are a number of people that are unemployed or underemployed, laid off, we still did very well. Hike for Hospice is the first fundraiser. Again, this year we'll be doing it virtually. Last year we raised $30,000. So this year we're hoping to up it to about $35,000, which is just a little bit more than half. Normally the hike raises anywhere from $55,000 to $60,000.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and we're going to shorten the time frame so that people can actually do the walk during the first 2 weeks of May. And telethon again will be happening in November. We're looking at doing a golf tournament, and it looks like we'll probably try for September. So hopefully, we'll be able to if we're can't do a shotgun start, then we'll do tea time. So that's just to be determined. Same thing with the butterfly release, thinking a fall date as opposed to a summer date. We historically have done it at NAVCAN near the Stone House. So even if there is social distancing that has to take place, the area there does allow for that. So again, we're looking for maybe a fall date. In terms of third-party events, that's where we really took a hit. None of our third parties except for the motorcycle rally took place. And boy, did they cleaned up this year. Thanks to Mike, they raised over $17,000. And wow. It looks like they're on board for another one this year. So that always happens the weekend following the long weekend in August. We're meeting with the Dragon Boat Race. We're going to have a meeting shortly. Lee sent out an email, so she did mention about the Highland Games canceling. So it's still up in the air whether that will happen or not. So stay tuned. And then we have another third-party event the end of May. So that's the Rolo race, remembering our loved ones. LaHaye and Sullivan are the organizers and the only sponsor. So that is a run, walk, or bike on May 29th or 30th. You can go to our Facebook page or to the hospice website. There's a link there to register. It's $20, the registration fee, and we're encouraging people to also pledge raise through Canada Helps.
Excellent. So of course people can attend or donate to any of these events, whether it be hospice or third party, but what are some other ways people can support hospice or raise awareness?
Just typical donations. We have a number of people that have been donating and sizable amounts. The same thing with the telethon. We found that we had fewer donations, but the amount was larger. So that goes a long way into helping. They can call the office and either that or go on to the website, and it'll connect you to the donate page, and you'll get your tax receipt. So don't hesitate to call us or reach out on the website.
And just finally, Sandy, we talked about the importance of the money for hospice, but if there was maybe one reason you'd give for somebody sitting at home and watching this of why they should donate to hospice, what would that be?
Well, I've seen hospice from both sides as an employee and a family member. My mom passed away there. It'll be 4 years in July, and I can't give back enough to hospice for what they did for me. And we never know when it might be someone we know or a family member or even ourselves that may need the services of hospice. So any amount, no amount is too small. So please consider donating. You won't be sorry.
Absolutely, and it's one thing that I have always noticed is just how many people share those feelings that go through hospice, have loved ones at hospice, and then they come back year after year to support the amazing events that you put on. So I want to thank you not only for being here today, but for all your hard work. It's so integral to hospice, and hospice is so integral to our community.
Thanks, Gabe.